Hey guys, it's your girl So Chas coming back to you with a Valentine's Day bold glam. This is not for everybody. Let me make this disclaimer. Everybody does not like having their eyes bold. However, this is something for the ladies who going out with their friend girls, with their guy, who are confident in being bold. You know Valentine's Day is on the weekend this year, so kudos. So let's get into this look. Obviously, I have based my eye and I am applying eyeshadow from the James Charles Mini palette. This video is a little bit longer because of so much of the details that are being put into the video or into the eyes with the liners and the glitter. So hopefully you guys will stay and watch how I am achieving this look. So I am going to let you guys kind of look and see what I'm doing. It's no different than the other one, just tapping product in and pretty much getting these colors flowing. I used a total of 3 colors on my eye. So sit back and watch and see how I'm applying this. So guys, don't be coming for me for my lace front that's showing that's a little not tinted. I didn't feel like bleaching them. I had to pretty much jump on the video and do what I need to do. Just know that when I step out, it ain't looking like that. Okay? Okay. To add some stuff, as you guys see that I am adding information, God help, that I am adding the shadow to my crease. So when you are applying your eyeshadow, your goal is to find where your bone is that's over your eyelid. And for my hooded girls, it may be a little difficult because your lids are really tiny where it's hard to apply a lot of eyeshadow. But if you have a full lid like myself, or maybe a little bit more than a hooded eye, you should make sure that you are focusing on putting your color in your crease, because if you start your color too high, going up more closer to your brow, you're not going to give yourself room to buff out your eyeshadow. So we don't want it to be harsh. You don't want to have harsh lines. You want to be able to blend. So if you are not careful, your color will start spreading throughout your eye to where it will go all the way up to your eyebrow. And you know, because your goal is to try to smoke out your colors. So you're trying to make sure that you have them blended fully, that they're giving like a nice smoke effect, and they have a gradient look where the colors are pretty much transitioning into one another. So that is your goal, to try to make sure that you are taking your colors. And also keep in mind, I can't remember if I said this in the last one. I think I did, but forgive me if I didn't. you have to make sure that you are using the appropriate brush on what you're applying. So if you're trying to get more coverage, you may want like a bigger brush, but keep in mind that you need to be cognizant of how you are positioning the brush on your eye, because if you are going like straight in and just dabbing your color, you're pretty much steering that brush, telling that brush how you want to do it. So I would suggest coming in from the outer part of the eye, working your way into the crease. When you want to deepen that crease, you can get like those richer dark colors that you might want to have where your crease looks a little bit more, there's more definition where it looks deeper. So, you know, it's a lot of tricks and little ways you can do things. So, you know, here I am doing my cut crease that I'm now adding with the P. Louise base. And again, like I said, girls, you can have fun with your base. Some people use concealer. I think P. Louise is dope because P. Louise allows the colors to stand out when you are applying a color on there, and something that might not be as bright, but you definitely will see it. And then of course, you know, you can build it up, but you know, you just want to make sure you have the right product so you don't have to do so much work, but everything will blend nicely. With your brushes, if you are positioning your hand on your brush more towards the bristles, you're going to have more of a dense effect from your shadow, meaning it's going to be a little bit more deeper, heavier. But if you're taking your hand and like if you're watching how I was applying the eyeshadow, my hand was a little bit more up towards the top of the brush, so it allows you to kind of give more of a you know, it's just a method in this madness. It's just more, it's not as much as your pressure. It's just like if you take a crayon and you're putting so much pressure on it, as you are smudging that crayon, it's going to be darker. If you are taking the crayon up from the top and you're coloring, it's going to be lighter, it's more gentle. So that's pretty much what I mean by that. So here I am pretty much just carving out how I want the eyeshadow to lay on the base, and I took my crease up high because even though I have the two colors, I wanted those colors to pop up top, so that, you know, the color on the bottom of, or the tip of my lid is going to stand out on its own as well. So just continue to watch, sis, continue to watch. So guys, I am now coming in with that color that I wanted to put on the lid. When you're doing this particular application, a lot of times I'm freestyling it as I'm going, just thinking like, oh, okay, I could do that, or no, let me do this. When you're doing this type of look, it's best to try to, let's see, how can I describe this? Pretty much when you're applying the eyeshadow on there, and this eyeshadow that I'm applying was pretty tricky. It's a beautiful color, but it's like, it's a purplish color that had like a, oh God, how can I explain it? It's like a metallic-y color, where it's like, it's purple, but at the same time, it's like a, you know what, metallic amethyst purple. That's pretty much what the description is. That's what it is. And it's the color, I had to keep really like digging into it and building on it, because I wanted that color to stand out, because it has a beautiful shimmer to it. But the texture of the shadow, it's not really powdery. It's more, it almost feels, it almost felt pasty. So it took time to build it up and then try to line it. We'll try to create a line where I can go like what I'm doing now by adding the gel liner. So this gel liner is by NYX. It's a pink one. You know, I'll have the description at the bottom. It pretty much is where I came in to define what area that I wanted to pop in between the colors, and then where I was going to apply my glitter. And let me tell y'all something, I really did not know how this was gonna come out. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna take a chance on this. And while I was sitting there, I was like, oh my God, Superman, that hoe, I look like a superhero. But the more I kept playing with it, and the more I kept using my imagination and not getting frustrated, because let me tell you, sis, when you dealing with these gel liners, they are tedious. Like, it's very challenging. You really have to have a steady hand, because one wrong move, you will throw it off. And you will see throughout the video that I had a couple of instances where I either went too fast and it went down into the color, or like you just had to keep touching up on it, because some of the colors, as you can see as I'm moving that color, it cracks. So you have to move fast, but I know you kind of like, sis, you just said go slow. Now you're telling me to go fast. I mean, what is it? I know. It's like a balance. You kind of have to move fast, but still try to be precise with where you're putting it so it can be neat as possible. I'm going to tell you right now, looking back over the video, I do see areas where I could have slowed down just a tad bit to make it more neat, going around the eye, especially when I come in and put the white. But you know, like I said, sis, makeup is not perfect. So, and I want to share this with you guys so that you guys know that I have mess ups too. So it's okay. Like, sis, long as you got that mess up and you own it, you are good. Ain't nobody gonna know unless you let them know. But because this is a tutorial, I definitely want to let you guys know, you know, how that can be. It turns out beautiful, but at the same time, it just really takes time and patience to do this. So if you are looking to get your makeup done, and let's say you want to get glitter and stuff, glitter application really takes time. And like I said, this is why this video is a little bit longer, because I really had to take my time in order to do my eyes so that it could look nice and it didn't look like I was crazy with a whole bunch of rows of art on the top of my eyelid. You know what I'm saying, girl? Like, we just can't be walking around here looking like we in grade school and we just was sitting in the mirror just doing watercolors and paint on our eyes. That's not cute. So, you know, you just kind of have to figure it out, and that's pretty much, you know, what happened. So, and sometimes, guys, I was leaning down because I had to see, I had to know where I was putting this stuff. So what I'm applying now is it's a NYX, it's a glitter primer. Well, kind of like an eye primer, but I'll have that down there too. So since we're probably gonna get away from doing the duo eyelash technique that I showed in the last video, and shout out to my girls that still use it, not saying that you can't, but I think the NYX glitter primer might be really on to something. I liked it. The only thing is it just takes time. Like I said, when you're trying to apply it, it just takes time applying it along the line of what you're doing. So just, you know, kind of sit back and watch what I'm talking about, and you know, we'll have our girl talk. Let me know in the feedback, in the little comment section, what you guys think as we continue. So you see how I was trying to be grown, thinking I had got it and mastered it, and ended up going into that color up top. So that's what I'm meaning, that you have to really take your time when you're applying your liquid liner. And it says, I don't know what was going on. When I tell you I had it on my lash, I had it on in my hair. It was just with so much going on. The baby was tired, trying to hurry up and put the video together, trying to get myself together so I can get ready to go to work for the next day. It just was a lot. When I tell y'all, it's a lot when you are doing the videos. Like, you hear people say it, but then to actually do it, it takes a lot of time for you to record, then go back and edit, then, ooh, child, listen, it's a lot. But I love doing it. You know, I think it's fun, it's dope. But that is pretty much what I was meaning, that you have to go back in and try to fix little areas and make sure that it doesn't look crazy. And to be honest, I wasn't satisfied with the look on how the white had went out. I really should have just left it at the top and not did it on the side. So I kind of go back and clean that up during the video. So now I'm getting ready to pretty much do my face and get my face together. I'm getting these brows together. And I personally like to do the concealer over the eyeshadow, like to kind of let it blend and have that separation. I think, to me, I like it. I like the way it looks. And it shows the definition in your eyebrow. But let me tell y'all, I kind of went overboard with the concealer, and I know I did, because I was using a different concealer, which I was using Juvia's Place. I used the concealers that they came out with, and I think the color that I had a 10, the J10 or a J9, and sis, that was just a little too light. Well, I wouldn't say horrible, but it was when you use her products, like, her products are very it's a lot that comes out, so you don't really need a lot to apply. Like, a little goes a long way with Juvia's Place. And I mean, it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing, because you can save more of your product, but it's a lot that comes out. So I really wasn't feeling it, so I went back to what I know, which is my LA Pro Girl in Fawn, and I go back and fix that. But I wanted to try to blend that in as much as possible, because you want to try to be able to not let your concealer take over your whole face. And to be honest, this is a look that kind of happened because I had applied so much. Now, of course, yeah, you could have went and you could have took a wipe to take the excess off, but like I said, trying to get through the video and get it going, I didn't have time to do that, so I pretty much just had to make it work. But I think the concealers are pretty. I just think that I picked up maybe the wrong color. Wait, no, maybe I picked up the wrong color. Let's talk about the foundation sticks. Now that one, I'm not really a fan of the foundation sticks. I mean, I've seen a lot of people hype them up. Oh my God, sis, you gotta get a foundation stick. It slides on like butter. And mine was like, I don't know, it was like the Krusty Krab. Like, I didn't understand. Like, it just was not going well with my skin. And you're gonna see that after I apply this powder on my face, the Milan translucent powder in medium deep. So, and I have another technique that I'm going to try the next video, something that I learned, that I'm going to look at something and see how that looks. Is going to be a little different. So here's the stick, guys, and it looks like a lot that I'm putting on my face. It does. But when I tell you, it was so hard to buff it out, and I should have left that part in so you could see. I ended up having to switch from a beauty blender, which I think is better when you're applying your makeup, because the beauty blender just makes your foundation look more like a airbrushed and butter look, like we talked about in the last video. But it was just too light. I felt like it was clashing with the concealer, and I can't remember if I said in the last one. So if I'm repeating myself, y'all please forgive me. Chart it to my head, not my heart. So when you're doing your foundation, you really want to try to match. Well, let me talk about me because I can't talk about nobody else. For me, when I'm doing my foundation, I know that my entire body is not the color of my face and pretty much typically my neck. So I normally, when I'm trying colors, I will take a swab across my upper chest area while I'm in the store so I can see how it looks and if it blends in. If I can match that, then sis, that's what's going on my face and my neck, because it all should be flowing to be one color. You don't want to look like you have two different sets of tones. You got a face color, a neck color, and then your actual color. You're looking crazy. These men are looking at you like you're crazy and they're saying, nah, bruh, she catfish. We ain't even do that like that. So, I made this work, but I had to really like blend this in, and I really had to contour, bring a lot of life back into my face because the color was so light, it kind of drowned me out. And then here, like I stated, I go back and I had put the concealer under that, liner that I had did there because I just really wasn't feeling that. I just was like, that's a little bit too much. I really felt superhero-ish then. So no, your concealer should not go all the way up to your temples because you are pretty much making your face look like you don't have any definition in your face. Everything just looks like, I just like to say concrete. It just looks like nothing like a just blank face. You ever seen a person walk around, they just have a blank expression? That's how you look. So that's not something you want to do. So you definitely don't want to do that. I did that for a reason though, but that's not best practice. Don't do that. Be better than me. But like I said, the contouring, when I come back with the contour, I really wanted to make sure that I contoured because I love my melanin. Like I want that to show. But you will see that the concealer kind of took a little bit and mixed with the stick of it wasn't the right shade. It kind of took over. And then the lighting, illuminates even more to show you some imperfections. So just buffing that out. Buff, and blending. I still got that white stuff on my eyelash. For all my OCD people who they just looking at it like, oh my God, why she won't do nothing with that? Sis, I'm telling you, I was trying to get through the video. So I got you at the end. But right now, my focus is on you, getting you this content and going on about my business. So like I stated in the last video, just pretty much putting that moisture on the brush so it can be a little damp, so it can move that product and make sure that I can blend it in nicely. So here, like I had stated, I am going in with the Mocha Mami bronzer. Like I told you guys, I love the bronzer. Like I said, it makes you look very warm, and it just brings back a good amount of life back to your face. It's not too overpowering. It's not too much. It's just right. So like I said, I had to go back in and really contour so that I can bring a lot more of that melanin out, because I just wasn't feeling that. The more I kept applying, I just was like, ooh, this was just a tad bit too much, boo, a tad bit too much. So pretty much doing the areas of, you know, on my cheeks, my nose, down the bridge of my nose, or I'm sorry, down the side of my nose, around my forehead, and then coming back through, just dusting off the excess that I don't need. But just really, you know, just wanting, like I said, to put the definition back into your face. When you're doing the contour, make sure that you're tapping around your nose, because they're just shadows. If you look at yourself in normal light or natural daylight, not normal light, in natural light, you should be able to see like your areas where you would contour, because you'll see shadows. You'll see where you automatically have areas that light up. So those are your areas that you want to focus on. And then we add in blush. Like I said, I love blush. I think blush is another product that makes your face look more friendly. Even if you got a resting bitch face, you have blush on and it balances it out. So I think that's a beautiful thing with the blush. And now we're adding some highlight, just highlighting those areas. And I go typically right above the blush. And if you look at it, your blush and your highlight is pretty much showing that the difference when it comes down to your contouring. Those colors they're overlaying each other to where it shows more of your contour of your cheekbones and how you're highlighting that area that's kind of like forming the C of your face. It just pretty much just gives you a shimmer so that when the light is hitting you, the light is going to hit certain areas. So there's a reason why you're putting stuff in certain places. And, you know, I like to go back over my eyebrows, bring them back to life, because you got to look at you're applying setting powder in certain areas. So some setting powder, like you've seen as I was putting on some of the excess, was kind of going other places. Sometimes you have to go back and bring your eyebrows, just darken them up a little bit. You don't have to be too much, but you can darken them up and then just clean them up some more and make those tails sharper, or or you know, some people like their front of their brows to be more full, and then they start getting more thin at the towards the end of their tail. They don't have a long tail. It's kind of like more fuller in the front, and then they get really, really short in the back. So it looks like the eyebrow is pretty much making like a semi-circle look, but kind of like, I don't know, y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't know, but yeah. So either way it goes, however you want to do your brows, you know, just pretty much coming back, cleaning it up so you can have that really fresh, nice look to your eyebrows. Your eyes and your eyebrows are pretty much what sets the tone for your face. Your lashes are going to make your eyes pop. Your eyebrows are going to pretty much bring the expression to your face. And it's just, I don't know, it just makes your face stand out a certain way. So you definitely want to make sure those two areas are put together, because I think that's what draws people attention. When they're looking at you, they're going to focus on what's going on in your eyes and your eyebrow area. So I'm just going over this area with my contouring. So like, just making sure that when you contour, you go into your inner eye, because it's going to give you that, not necessarily a sunken look, but it's just going to show where you have the deepness in your eye. So like I said, you're wanting to show the definition in your face and not just have like a blank looking face where there's no type of curve, no type of contouring. So, and you don't have to go so much because you don't want to go draggish. Sometimes if you do a lot of contouring or heavy contouring, it can kind of look draggish, and you don't want to do that, especially when you're doing a lot of eye work. It can kind of look that way. So to avoid it, you know, just kind of go light on your contouring, but put it in the right places so that it can give the illusion. It's everything. It's just all an illusion. That's all it is. An enhancement of beauty, but an illusion. NARS, so we had to cut that dark lip out and put a light one on there. So like, subscribe, and get at me and give me feedback on this look if you're feeling it or not. Definitely stay tuned, because I am going to be dropping another Valentine's Day look, but it is going to be a softer glam. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed and learned something. Be blessed. Mwah.